Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how to create a dewy skin look using your foundation. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to share tips if you have dry skin, combo skin, oily skin. I'm going to share lots of tips for you guys. Before we get started, let me know what your current favorite summer foundation is. Just let me know in the comments below and we are going to get right into this. I am going to give you some tips for if you have combo skin, that is what I have, oily skin and dry skin if you want to create a dewy look. Now if you have combo skin or oily skin like I do, you want your skin to look dewy, but you have to be really careful about how you do it, especially during the summertime, especially for me here in Florida. I have to be careful about how much makeup I apply, otherwise I will look like a greasy mess. Because I have dry skin, because I really think it's mostly because of my retin-A, I have to use a little bit of moisturizer, but I cannot overdo it. Now I'm not going to put this on my whole face. I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown face base. I'm going to put a little bit of this on. Now I'm only going to use this in the areas that I know are dry. So right by my nose is a little bit dry. I'm going to put this on my chin where I know it's dry. And that's it. Because I get oily, and you can kind of see already I have a little bit shine because I did use a little bit of a light moisturizer on, and then I have my sunscreen on as well. This is only for the summer months that I do this. If you want to create a dewy look, there's different ways to do that. I have something new that I'm going to use today, but I'm going to show you some other options too. And I've talked about this before on my channel. So another really nice one, and this is one you can use under your makeup. I think this is really, really good for dry skin. Now this is, I believe this says this is for all skin types. This is the LeBlanc from Chanel. And what you do is before you put your makeup on, you kind of use this as a primer. I hate to use the word primer because this is not going to keep your makeup on longer. And I always feel like primers are known for either keeping your makeup on, or they help with, if you have pores, some of them will help so your pores aren't as noticeable. This isn't going to do that. This is just going to give you a luminous look to your makeup. But if you have oily skin, you want to go easy on this in the summertime. For dry skin people, I would just pump it, apply it all over your face, and then you follow in with your foundation. If you have oily skin like I do, don't put this in the areas that you already have oily skin. Maybe concentrate on the drier areas. And that's what I would do in the summertime. Another one you can use is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I've showed this before. Now you can use this all over your face. You can apply it all over your face, or you can just use this in areas that you want to use it. And if you haven't seen this, this has one of those doe foot applicators. What I normally do with this is I apply it right up there because that's what I want highlighted, or where I want to have that dewy look. That reflection up here is going to help to lift your face. So I don't put this all over my face. If you have dry skin, you can do that, but you can just use it where you need it, and that's what I normally do. If you want a flawless dewy look with your foundation, you want to use one that's thin. So if you're going to use a full coverage, which I would not recommend, because you can add a serum to this and it will thin it down. You can mix it with a moisturizer. I would only recommend that if you have dry skin. But I really think you need to use something that's really, really light. Now this one from, let me show you, this is the Double Wear foundation. I was talking about the Double Wear foundation. So I would recommend this. You can, like I said, you can thin it down with a serum and get that look. You can do that. But then you're not going to get the full coverage. But you can do that. Another one that you can use, and it is a full coverage, but it's light because it has a moisturizer in it. And I find this can be dewy too, but if you have oily skin, like, you just have to use very little. So this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye foundation. If you have oily skin, or you have combo skin, I would use these sparingly, if at all, in the summertime. You have to be really careful with these. I tend to go for something like this. So this is the Chanel Lumiere Velvet. I really love this one because it's very, very light coverage. You can build it up, but you don't want to. Here's the thing. If you want your skin to look like skin, you don't want full coverage. You don't want somebody to come up to you and see makeup. You want to see that dewy, glowy look. And again, if you have oily or combo skin, the less you wear, honestly, the better you're going to be in the summertime. So this is what I'm going to use today. First, I'm going to just do my concealer really, really quickly. I'm going to go in with my concealer really quickly. I'm just going to use my Accessorins. Now, some of you had told me that you just use your foundation near under your eyes. Then do it. You know what I mean? Go for it. I can't do that. My under eyes, I mean, everything settles under my eyes, so I have to use what works for me, and this is the one that works for me. And the way that I apply it, I've shared this in videos before, but application is key when it comes to that. Today, the primer that I'm going to use is called a primer. This one is from VDL. I shared this in a recent video with you guys, and it kind of gives off like a little bit of a luminous kind of a look, a glow. I think it's really, really pretty. You can use it all over your face, but I can't do that with this because with my oily skin, I will look like a greasy ass mess, to be honest. So there's two ways you can do this. You can put it on, which I'm going to do it that way today. You can put it on where you want it. You can put it on all over, which I'm not going to do. Or you can put your foundation on and then apply this. Today, I'm just going to do it underneath. So I'm just going to squeeze it, and you'll see when you squeeze it. See how it kind of comes out there? And it comes with this applicator. You don't have to use this, but I'm actually going to use this. And I'm just kind of using half of the snowflake, since that's what it is. But I don't know if you can see how it gives a nice glow. And it does give, like I said, it's kind of like that nice, like pearly, luminous look, if you know what I'm talking about, like a opal, like an opal stone. It's kind of like that. Now I'm going to go in with my foundation, and I'm going to use this foundation. Now I would recommend applying this with a sponge. If you want to get a skin-like look, the best thing to use is a sponge. I'm going to use the Sigma sponge. Whatever one you use though, you always want to use it damp. You don't want to use it wringing wet, so I always clean mine before I use it. I squeeze it out, then I take a towel and I just kind of get a little bit more of the excess water out because you don't want to use it really, really wet. So just do a little bit like that. You see that? Oh my goodness, you focused. So that's it. I just use a little bit like that. Really, that's what you want to do. Just use a little at a time. Then I take it and I will dab it, 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 all over. And if I feel like need a little bit more, I go ahead and I use more, but it's okay if you see some of your imperfections. I just want to tell you this when I'm doing this. And if you follow me on Instagram, and I hope that you do, I will leave the link below. And always check the notes below too, because I always share what, you know, show what I'm using in every video, what the makeup I'm wearing and all that. But nobody has perfect skin. Nobody has perfect skin. Nobody. I don't care who you are, you don't. And I will show you close up of my face after I do this. But when you do something like this, your skin is going to look really pretty and it's going to look like your skin. So you're just kind of even it out a little bit, because that's what a foundation should do. It should even it out. You don't have to cake on a whole bunch because it's just going to look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. And I think that as we age, I think it looks like really pretty to have skin that looks like our skin and not like we're wearing a lot of makeup. I am not going to powder this today. I know it's a shock. I'm not going to. I can do that because I didn't put a lot of foundation on. And again, I just feel like the less you have on, the prettier it is, and especially in the summertime. I am going to use this. Now this is I've shared this before. I love this. This is from Color Science. This is the color corrector. I'm just going to use some of this on my nose and on my scar. This. Another thing that I do is I have been using creams now, and you're like, oh my gosh, you have oily skin, you use cream, but I still like the look of that. I just feel like the more my skin looks dewy, I feel like I look fresh, I look alive, and it's just a youthful look. But I go easy on it. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my Chanel, oh my gosh, this thing is getting so gross. But this is my Chanel bronzer. And I'm just going to take this brush, and this brush is not doing too good. I need to get a new brush because I feel like it's shedding like crazy. But I'm just going to take it and swirl it in here. And I'm going to go right here really lightly too. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my brush. I'm keeping it really light. And I'm just going in a circle and keeping it in this area right there. I'm going to do the same on this side. You kind of see already how it gives me a little bit of color compared to that side. And just, again, keeping it really light. Just going in there. And then I'm going to take and put it on my forehead. Right like that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use a cream blush. And I'm going to use the one that I have right now that I want to use up. It is the Gucci Westman. I'm going to use this brush too. And this is my Sigma F40. So it's kind of angled, but to me it makes a nice blush brush. So I'm just going to take my brush like this with the blush, and then I'm going to go right up here and really lightly, do you see where I'm holding my brush back there? And really lightly I'm just going to buff it in. And do the same thing with this other side. Can you see it already? I'm going to blend that in a little bit more. And again, you want to keep it up here. You don't want to go like this and put it there. We want to lift our face up. As we age, our skin sags. So we've got to lift up our face. So we need to put things up a little bit higher. You have to remember, if you do watch younger channels, and that's fine because I do think they have a lot to offer, but where they apply their makeup is different to where us mature ladies. And it's funny because some of them will do makeup on mature ladies. I think for the most part they do, you know, a really good job, but sometimes I feel like they're doing the way that they do the makeup on themselves, and they don't realize that when you age, you need to lift it up. And maybe it's because they're younger and their skin is like that, you know what I'm trying to say? But we gotta lift it up, ladies. We gotta lift up our face. And that's it. I'm gonna do my eyes in another video, my lips and my brows and all of that. But that is all that I do. So let me get the rest of my makeup on and I'll be right back. Okay, so really quick, yeah, it's really storming out there. So I started doing my eyes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't show you guys a close-up of my face. I want to show you guys a close-up of my face now that I have my makeup on. You see? So I don't have perfect skin at all. Okay, so this is my final look. A couple things when you are doing a look like this with your foundation. Like I said, I didn't powder, and I don't always powder lately, and it does get a little bit shiny, but I'm enjoying that look. The negative thing to that is this: I have sebaceous hyperplasia, so anytime that you have, you know, whatever flaws that you have, when you have a more dewy look, the light is going to reflect and you're going to notice that a little bit more. So I just wanted to share that with you, but I'm okay with it because I'm just at a place where I'm just accepting my flaws. It is what it is. I'm not going to have, there's things that can be done, but it's like scarring or having them on my face. I think I'd rather just have them on my face. I don't want scars all over my face. I think that would be worse. If you feel like you don't want it to be overly dewy, then after you put your foundation on, do a light coating of powder. The powders that I use, that I would recommend, my number one holy grail is my Charlotte Tilbury airbrushed flawless. I can't say it. I wear the color Fair. I really, really love this. The other one that I use of hers, I do enjoy it, but I think this one's better. is her other powder, which is the magic powder. It says under eye, which, girl, I would never use this under my eyes, or for your face. So this is a loose powder, and I enjoy this one as well. Go easy on it. Don't go crazy and get powder face, because anytime you have a matte face, it's gonna age you. So if you have dry skin already, then I would say don't use a powder to set it in the summer, and see how that works for you. I've always said that you should powder because it does set your makeup, but it can look drying and it can age you if you're not careful. So like I said, I will set my powder, I will set my foundation with a little bit of powder sometimes. Lately I haven't been, but I will use a little bit if I need to. I just don't want too much on, because I feel like as the day goes on and my skin is dewy, if it gets a little bit oily, I feel like I can blot it with a little bit of tissue and it's fine. I don't touch up my makeup once I'm out. I just don't do it. I don't touch up my makeup. And if you ever were to meet me in person, I want to look the way I do on camera. You know what I mean? I don't want to put all this fancy makeup on and stuff, and then you're going to see me and be like, wow, you look nothing like that in person. Like, this is when I share stuff on my videos, this is how I look. And lately, this is how I've been wearing my makeup. This is what I look like. You're going to see some of my veins. You're going to see some of my imperfections, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay, because nobody has perfect skin. Nobody has perfect skin. I don't care who it is. Anybody that you're watching on YouTube, they're putting makeup on, they're under lights. Nobody has perfect skin. So don't beat yourself up over it, okay? Please don't. Or another thing you can do too, now this isn't going to set your foundation, but if you feel like after you put some of your makeup on and you don't want to put a powder all over, but you feel like you just want to finish a little bit, this is a really nice powder. So this is the Makeup Forever finishing powder. And what I will do with this is I will take this and I will just go like this, and I will maybe put a little bit like around my cheek area. I might do a little bit on my chin area. I might put a little bit up here. It just finishes your makeup off and makes it look really smooth and pretty, but it doesn't make it look really matte. And I like that. You don't want to touch up your makeup with powder and powder and powder and powder and powder, because you're going to have cake face by the end of the day. So again, you can just blot it, or you can bring a little sponge with you. Maybe get a little sponge with you. You can even cut it in half or something and keep it in your purse. But if you keep it in your purse, make sure you clean it, and make sure that you put it in some sort of container that's is not airtight. You don't want to put it in a baggie or anything. You're gonna have a moldy, disgusting sponge. And always make sure that you're keeping up with cleaning it. But if you're out somewhere and you had to touch up your makeup, you can just go in the bathroom, you can just squeeze that sponge and wring it out, and then you can just tap it on your face and kind of blend your makeup up and touch it up that way instead of doing your makeup over. Because like I said, when I'm out, the only thing I touch up is my lipstick and my lip liner. That is the only thing I do. I don't mess with my makeup whenever I'm out. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you click that subscribe button. I share new videos on Mondays and Fridays, and that is it. Thank you guys so much. I will see you all real soon. Bye.